Hey, hi friends. Welcome to Chirpy Tales. When I was contemplating my next trip, Edinburgh, it was. Such beautiful pictures of the city. On my WhatsApp group, when I told my friends I'm planning a visit to Edinburgh, a childhood friend of mine, Saroj, who's now settled in Amsterdam, was excited and she said she would like to join me for the weekend as she would be in London for some work. Super! I thought it'll be nice girly trip with all childhood gupshup we can catch up on. The way we did for pajama parties during our school and college days. It was Saroj's third trip to Edinburgh and mine was the first. I took a bus from the airport to the hotel. Saroj had already reached. There was a nip in the air which you cannot experience here in Mumbai, and of course clear skies. I reached the hotel and was welcomed by Saroj, who was eagerly waiting for me at the hotel lobby. And the first thing we did was to click selfies and put it on our group. I told Saroj, listen, I'm not tired and it'll be evening soon. Let's go and explore a bit. She agreed. I quickly checked in and got ready to go out. Like childhood days, we had coordinated our clothes and even boots. This certainly was going to be fun. As we ventured, Saroj went on to explain to me that the old town part is the city which is medieval with its classical buildings and cobbled streets. She said, let's walk there. एकदम flashback mode में चले जाते हैं वहाँ. The Edinburgh Castle is built on extinct volcano and houses the Scottish crown jewels. From the striking architecture of the old and new town to the city's awe-inspiring castle, Edinburgh, quite rightly a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is amongst the world's most spectacular cities. It was built in the 12th century. This castle has mysterious dungeons. Edinburgh mostly holds all black Georgian and Gothic buildings. Saroj was telling me about Mary King's Close, a historic close located under buildings of Royal Mile. While walking on the Key Road, the Royal Mile, where the royals had their possessions, she was explaining me the mysterious and melancholic tales of Mary King's Close. I was so engrossed in Saroj's ghostly tales that I was almost visualizing them when we saw a woman with a colorful umbrella approaching us. For a moment I thought I was imagining, but when she came closer, I realized she was real. This woman had a fully pierced face. She wore similar boots like mine below her flowing skirt. She was wearing yellow shirt with frills and a long Scottish jacket. She also wore broad black shiny belt. She had soft feather colorful hat that looked like a hair. A small portion of her face and hands were the only things of her body that we could see. She had broad light green bands highlighted around her eyes. I softly asked Saroj, is she from the close? A ghost? Now she came closer, stood across me, put her hand in front of me and stopped me. Saroj panicked, pulled me and screamed, Shilpa, chal yahan se, ye theek nahi dikhti, and she ran away. While I too almost tried to run, this woman held me by my shoulders, looked straight into my eyes. She had black eyes full of compassion and mystery. She said, calm down. Then she repeated again, calm down. Have you calmed down? I ain't going to hurt you. My name is Tipsy and I am a gypsy. I'm from Mexico and not a psycho. I see your future as you are a sweet creature. Come, my child. What? What was that? Some kind of nursery rhyme? I looked at Saroj, who was so far as I stood, stunned and frozen, turned to look into the woman's eyes again. The woman put a hand softly a bit away from my face, moved it from top to bottom and told me to calm down. And I felt nice and somehow calmed down. In a few seconds, I came to my senses and सोचा, यार शिल्पा, ये कोई ढोंगी बाबा टाइप्स लगती है. चल, कोई नहीं, let me have some fun with Tipsy the gypsy. I looked for Saroj, who was standing in a corner far away, showing action with a hand for me to run. During those few seconds, though I thought of having fun, I also had so many imaginations. Maybe This woman wanted to rob me or murder me or perhaps kidnap me. I had read about gypsies in Europe, and here I was in a foreign land with no contacts, and the only friend with me is scared and running away far. I told myself, "You donkey, listen to Saroj, just run." While these thoughts were going on in my mind, I actually quite liked this woman. She had so much of warmth in those eyes that was staring at me. Tipsy removed her hands from my shoulders and gave me the tightest of the hugs I ever got. She held me tight and said, "Cry, my friend, get it out of your system, and I will get it out of your head." I don't know what happened to me. I burst out crying, and I cried like a baby in her arms. Then, when I realized what I was doing, I tried getting away from her. Before I could get away, she stopped me and said, "Honey, may I say something? I noticed you have an incredibly strong aura and sense of emotion radiating from your soul. May I talk to you? Do you believe in brujeria?" I am Mexican, and brujeria is basically witchcraft and can involve fortune telling and having a sixth sense, so to speak. I now panicked. "Witchcraft? Like really?" I yelled, "No," but she kept on going with her discourse. By now, there were onlookers watching the entire drama. She held my wrist tightly with one hand while I was trying to loosen it up, and her umbrella in the other. She went on and on about how I needed to know that things are going to be okay no matter what happened, and that she sensed there had been two people who had recently died here in Edinburgh were watching over me right now. She said I also had guardian angels. By now, this woman was really scaring me. At the same time, I was finding all this funny, and I just really wanted to run away from her. I managed to forcefully release myself from her clutches and started walking fast towards Saroj, who was running away further. Tipsy followed me, speaking loudly. "It'll only take a few minutes. Listen to me. You will encounter two joyous occasions this year. Your left eye says luck with men, and right eye says wealth and power. A red light shine between your eyebrows. You will have good encounters in August, September, and October. Someone important will come to your assistance." I was angry now, but felt bad for this woman, as I had also read fortune telling is a livelihood for gypsies. I turned back, stopped, looked into her eyes, and asked her, "Tipsy, do you tell this to everyone? How could you say this? I have practiced brujeria and come here to find predestined friends, and you are a predestined friend. For once, please listen to me." Saroj saw what was happening and fumed while she walked on the other side of the road, as if it was a marathon. Now, if I think of it, she looked like Jerry from Tom and Jerry. You should have seen her expressions, man. Tipsy kept persuading me, walking behind me. I was amused and angry. This time, I held her shoulders, looked into her eyes, and harshly told her, "Here, Tipsy, take these few pounds and let me go. Have a nice day." While I did that, Tipsy's eyes were full of tears. She stood in one place with her umbrella, looking at me cross the road and walked towards Saroj. It was almost dark by now and cold too, so Saroj and I decided to have coffee at a restaurant at Mary King's Close. We ordered for cappuccinos and blueberry-filled buns and sat near the window. We could see Tipsy on the footpath with her umbrella running behind a man with a hat. I waved out to her and she gave me a smile. While I was waving at her, Saroj hit me hard on my hand and said, "Bas abhi, ho gaya tera adventure. We are here for next 2 days, ye piche pad jayegi warna." While waiting for our coffee, we made a group video call and Saroj complained like a child to our friends and narrated the entire incident. And they teased Saroj, "Arey Shilpa herself is a gypsy, घूमती रहती है अकेले इधर उधर. How can she get scared of another gypsy?" Saroj's name was called out for us to collect the coffee from the counter. We bid goodbyes on the phone and switched off the phone. Saroj came with a tray which had coffee, blueberry buns and something else in the tray. It was a cookie. Only one. Saroj looked at the cookie, then she looked at me and then outside and said, "Shilpa, this is a fortune cookie." I took the cookie in my hand, cracked open the fortune cookie with curiosity and pulled a small message which read, "I cannot help you. Your fate is in your own hand, for I am just a cookie." While I read this, I looked outside the window. There she was, Tipsy the gypsy. She bowed down, smiled, and walked away. And I smiled back at her till she disappeared. So friends, remember, not all who wander are lost. Hasta la vista. फिर मिलेंगे हम लोग. See you in my next video of Choppy Tales.